For my garbage person of the week, earlier this week, actually last weekend, I watched the 3rd episode of The Last of Us. I really enjoyed it. As a fan of the video games, I've played and beaten both. It's just great to see them not only delivering as they did the first 2 episodes, a great rendition of that game, and I think Pedro Pascal's been doing a great job. And I think the Ellie, I believe her name is Bella, has been winning me over. I wasn't initially sure, but I like her. And then in the 3rd episode, they went way beyond the source material and made it even better. As soon as it was done, I knew, oh dear God, right wingers are going to lose their minds over this. And so Ben Shapiro, take it away.
It's historic and important because it's about 2 gay dudes. You want to make Brokeback Zombie Farm or whatever, fine. You can see it here, right? There's gay Ron Swanson, and it's complete with like sex scenes and the whole thing. Question is, how do human beings repopulate? How do they survive? And how do they become successful once again? If you're gonna censor an episode like that, what you need to do is you need to have an episode about people who can have babies. People falling in love during the apocalypse. What are the stakes? We don't know any of these characters, nor are we gonna care about them beyond this particular episode. Which means that it's basically just a sidetrack. It's a throwaway episode, but it's so important because it has gay people, you see.
So look, of course he has to speak out against it. Again, the thing about independent right-wing media is that they all have to have the exact same predictable takes. Of course he has to hate it. He couldn't just not watch it. He couldn't just not comment on it. He has to comment on it. And he is going to try to make it intellectual. You can tell from the look in his eyes, the tenor of his voice, that he thinks he's making some sort of deep points about storytelling or something. Those are absolutely vapid points. The idea that they can't reproduce, so why would we care about these characters in a post-apocalyptic setting? So first of all, you're objectively wrong that we can't care because, and I know this annoys you, lots and lots of people love that episode. So you're already on the face of it wrong. The idea that like because the characters only occur in 1 episode, there's no stakes or whatever. What the hell are you talking about? Like, do you literally not watch any television, any awesome dramas? There are lots of guest stars that do amazing work. Look, he wants to pretend that this is some sort of intellectual critique of it or whatever. It's not about them being gay, but he intentionally, repeatedly undercuts it by getting so snippy about the fact that other people are eager about the episode. They like it and they're talking about how they like it. So I guess you have to like it and you have to like everything. He goes on to say, you have to like the most graphic parts or you're a homophobe. First of all, there's no graphic parts. Come on. The most graphic part is a little implied and that's it. And that was all it took to make him so uncomfortable. Now, I don't think that that's just about the fact that it was 2 gay men. I think the topic of sex generally makes him very uncomfortable. That's his whole aura and all that, his whole vibe. But anyway, I knew that right wingers like him were gonna have to attack this thing. They despise the idea that there could be effective pieces of art that communicate to people who might not know many gay people. They might not know a lot about the gay experience or whatever, that allows them to see that and think, oh, that's actually very similar in a lot of ways to my life. And it's beautiful that there could be pieces of art featuring people's lives that are different than my own in some ways, or demographically or whatever. It is because it's effective that they despise it. If it had been a bad episode and everybody panned it, he wouldn't have felt the need to comment on it. But because it was good, he has to whine about it. And not just him, he's the representative of this, but there's a ton of them out there. Brett, what do you think?
I mean, Ben Shapiro is that, I mean, proof to your point is that he is entering this arena. And the whole thing was always already him trying to make a media play because he got rejected as a screenwriter. And he's doing the equivalent of like going and finding like a wealthy Saudi oil baron to give him billions of dollars so he can make like his Saw knockoff, but like with straights in it. Like, it's hilarious. And he's censorious. It's the censorious right once again saying you can't make a certain type of media or else I will cancel you. And that's what he's doing. That's what he and Seb Gorka are doing. That's what everyone on the right is doing, as you said, quite predictably.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, 100%. And the story already features multiple straight romances. Again, this isn't about like, hey, they're not showing people like me. No, they are. They are. It's just that they're also showing people that are unlike him, and that is not acceptable. They should be bludgeoned into submission. And they don't have to watch it. An individual right winger doesn't have to watch it. The right doesn't have to watch it. But that's not what's going on here. They're trying to stop these things from being made. Anyway,
and as much as he lambasts the homosexual agenda, he explicitly is putting forth a heterosexual procreative agenda. That's an agenda. He wants media to have an agenda as opposed to just telling good stories, which media should be about.
Yeah, it's an objectively good story. In any event, those are our garbage people of the week, but you all voted and here are your 5. And this was a blowout week, by the way. Coming in at number 5 with 3% of the vote is Newsmax for crying about DirecTV dropping them. Tied for 4th and 3rd at 4% of the vote, you have the Utah GOP for banning gender affirming care, as well as Elon Musk for pretending to apologize for Pelosi conspiracies. That was one of my favorite stories of the week. Coming in number 2 with 14% of the vote is every conservative's disgusting take on Tyree Nichols. But no, your garbage person of the week with 76% of the vote are the Memphis officers for the deadly beating of Tyree Nichols. I think, obviously a tragic story, a well-earned victory for some of the worst people in the country. Thank you to the 48,000 of you who voted, and thank you, Brett, for joining us for this episode of the show.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.